So, Guilty Gear Strive is actually coming out in a few more days. Hopefully no more delays. Bars. But I think we're in a clear because we're so dead close right now. And because the game is so close right now, I thought it was a good idea to list out 5 reasons on why you should play Guilty Gear Strive. I realize that there's a good chunk of people who are unfamiliar with Guilty Gear, or rather on the fence due to the prior games being notoriously technical and or intimidating to learn for newcomers. However, this game is without a doubt the most accessible that Guilty Gear has ever been by far. That's not to say that for those who are Guilty Gear veterans or those who play other fighting games have no business in this game. I mean, duh, more than likely they will be playing this game no matter what. But this is truly a game that I feel from playing the prior betas will have something for everybody no matter the skill level. So yeah, let's get to the smell of the game with the top 5 reasons on why you should play Guilty Gear Strive. Reason number 1. Rollback netcode. For decades now, fighting games on console in an online setting has been running on delay-based netcode. If you don't know what delay-based netcode is, it's essentially the lifeline of pretty much 80 to 95% of games with online multiplayer, specifically console games. To keep it as brief as much as I possibly can, it is designed to delay either you or the opponent's inputs in order to register both players' inputs at the same time. But the catch is that it's extremely inconsistent due to the strong possibility of latency, better known as lag. I'm fairly sure most if not all of you that watch this channel knows what happens when it lags. In other games outside of fighting games, this may not seem like a huge game breaking issue, but in the case of fighting games where any missed input can decide the fate of the match, it really does matter. But thankfully we're finally getting a solution to this being rollback netcode. It is specifically designed to register the inputs from both players in real time, or at least extremely close to real time, to pretty much give the best emulation of an offline setting as much as possible. This is a huge deal in so many ways. No longer do you have to worry about juggling between offline and online, because in games like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, the delay-based netcode is notoriously bad, and it gives birth to certain characters with certain dumb gimmicks that would otherwise in an offline setting be easily countered due to having no latency. But in a net play environment, it actually becomes more viable options because it's hard to react. And this creates a lot of frustration among fighting game players. But now, at least with Guilty Gear Strive, we don't have to worry about that anymore. Throughout my personal experience of playing Guilty Gear Strive, about 90 to 95% of my matches ran beautifully. It really felt like I was playing offline. And hopefully this game will be the cause of the ripple effect for future fighting games or even past fighting games. Such a fiction. To finally get rollback netcode. Reason number 2, the learning curve has been resetted and is lower for majority of the class. So a very common complaint I've gotten from personal friends to general consensus on the internet forums about the prior Guilty Gear games that I heard for the past couple of years now is how unapproachable the games were. Guilty Gear Ascent Core Plus R being arguably one of the most technical fighting games to ever get into. Guilty Gear Strive, I can tell you with confidence, is its own thing. It has pretty much resetted the character gameplay design to be, I would say, a bit more linear for newcomers to be able to pick up and learn faster, but still just enough to where you can clearly see the skill cap diff. The in-game mechanics has gotten an overhaul this time around once again. Roman cancels are still a thing since it's a staple in the series by this point, but they've been reworked here. In prior games, if you had literally only 25% of meter, you can do what is called a yellow Roman cancel, a YRC for short. In Strive, however, to do any kind of Roman cancel, you need to burn 100% of meter. A change like that is huge, considering the amount of crazy bullshit you can do in a quick succession with just using 25% of meter. Not only that, but walls are now breakable. Being in the corner against pressure demons like Melia in the past games was just not a fun time depending on the player. Some of my personal friends outright refused to play me in XR due to being locked in a corner with so much meter to burn. It's understandably very intimidating if you don't know the matchup. These changes in Strive helps eliminates that, while also keeping it fair by rewarding the player when breaking the wall, by giving them a faster build of meter over time. But being transparent though, despite how much these companies try to make their fighting games accessible these days, it's not going to stop Guilty Gear vets or fighting game vets from reaching a high cap of skill in this game. But at the very least, we're all pretty much starting from day one, and this is the best opportunity to really get to learn to play Guilty Gear Strive. Reason number 3. There's a character for everyone. While this game only has 15 characters for its starting roster, all of the characters are unique in their own way, and there's a character for everybody. Are you a player that likes to be rewarded with proper spacing and basic fundamentals? Then Kai Keese is your man. Or perhaps you like to overwhelm opponents with fast rushdown offense? Then there's Chip, who is the fastest character in the entire game with a command grab, Milia, who specializes in set play and mobility options, and one of the new additions to the franchise, Giovanna, who is purely rushdown. The other new addition to the roster is an insane high risk and high reward character for defensive base players. Or maybe you're just built differently. Then there's False. I'm kidding, False mains. I'm kidding. I'm playing. The roster is jam-packed with uniqueness, and it's only going to grow as months go by. In the past, I was mainly a Kai Keese main with Raven as a secondary. But in Strive, I definitely have an interest in multiple characters now, with Ramlethal being my main, Ino being my secondary, and I have plans to learn Milia and Naga at some point as well. So the fact that I find 4 characters fun and interesting in Strive tells me that there is at least 1 or 2 characters that you can definitely pick up. But even if there isn't a character yet that fits you, the game is getting a season pass with more characters to come, which leads to my next reason. Reason number 4, longevity potential. Guilty Gear Strive has a strong potential to be a mainstay fighting game for many years to come. Replayability wise, there's going to be more modes that is coming in the future of Strive's lifespan, such as a mode that features a tag team mechanic that was briefly shown on arcade. It was planned originally for the base game, but due to the unfortunate pandemic, it won't be available until post-release. Which is a bit of a downer, but on the same token, it does give you something to look forward to in the future of Guilty Gear Strive. And as I said in my third reason, there will be more characters coming with the first season pass. So if you wanted Johnny, Elfelt, Testament, Raven, Police Arxis, Biken, or any other character that I haven't named, there's always hope. Reason number 5. It's a refreshing fighting game. This is going to be more of a personal reason with me, but I honestly feel like we needed this game. Not just because of the rollback, even though it's amazing that we're getting it, but it's a current fighting game market that I feel has been growing stagnant. Grand Blue Fantasy Versus was fun, but left a lot to be desired when it comes to creativity and player expression. Blaze with Cross-Hack Battle is... well... If I go in on BB Tag, this will transform into another kind of video. But if you're curious on how I feel about that game, please watch this video. I'm not trying to make this video longer than it needs to be. I'm also not trying to say that the current fighting games that we have today are bad, but it kind of made me forget on what makes a fighting game really fun for me on a personal level. Playing the open betas of Guilty Gear Strive reminded me on why I fell in love with fighting games in the first place. Despite the changes to have more accessibility, there's still plenty of creativity to be had with these characters in Strive. And I'm sure as this game develops, we'll be looking at a very multi-layered game. And it's just downright fun, man. Like, it really has been a minute since I felt so much fun playing a fighting game before. So yeah, these are the 5 reasons on why you should play Guilty Gear Strive. Hopefully this video gives you that insight you needed before making the purchase. But before I sign off, I want to quickly announce that I do plan on streaming Guilty Gear Strive around the time it releases on my Twitch channel. I never really used my Twitch platform like that in a long time, so I figured why not put it to use. I know plenty of y'all asked me if I would be having matches against the viewers, so hopefully this answers your question. At the moment, I don't have a set schedule, so the best way to find out when I'm going live is to follow me on Twitter here. Yes, I know, it's another plugin, but I'm being serious. But hopefully I'll see you guys there. Thank you for watching this video all the way through, and I hope you guys have a good ass day. See y'all on the next one.